We are dropping both Girls Frontline 2 and Starseed from our rotation, so let's talk a little bit about why I'm dropping them and what happens with the website. Some sort of a new Japping video. Honestly, I enjoy these Japping videos more than making guides. That said, if you're asking or questioning why the glasses, okay, I have my eye completely fucked up, so I cannot look at the screen if I don't have some sunglasses on. So today we have a cool Sefhi instead of normal Sefhi. That said, out of the introduction, let's talk a little bit about why we're dropping those two games. I think we're gonna start with Girls Frontline 2. This is the easy one. First of all, Girls Frontline 2 is going nowhere on the wiki. The wiki, the Girls Frontline 2 wiki at least, was never really something I was doing myself. Okay, like Girls Frontline 2, it's a game I know fucking nothing about. This is done 99% on Lending and Ark's side. Okay, they are maintaining this wiki. They have put a lot of work into it. If you go into any character, you have the notes, you have the loops for all units, and they are like a big wall of text explaining everything, characters release, like you have everything, including expansion keys, right? All that good stuff. So all that work, I'm not gonna be just removing it because I'm not playing the game, but this is the only exception on the wiki for a game that I don't play myself that is gonna be here. And that leads me to the other point, and I have a few points here to go through, which is Starseed, right? So Girls Frontline 2 stays here, nothing changes, we will keep updating everything. When it comes to Starseed, it's a game that I am not enjoying. And there is like multiple things for this. I feel gacha wikis, right? And there is like multiple points here. The second point, which is they require a lot of time to provide good content. Like, I don't want to just have a fucking tier list from somewhere I don't fucking know, right? I don't understand what's going on. I don't know why the characters are T0, T1, or T2. I want to have my own tier list and make them just good based on how much I play the game myself. And Starseed is a game I just was not even playing anymore. Like, I was doing my dailies, not pushing content, not doing campaign. It's a game that, as much as I was enjoying, I am not dedicating time to it. So it's pointless to have a wiki for it, I will say, right? So not only we're dropping it, but for now we will keep the wiki on the website. So as you can see, there is a message on top that is like, hey, discontinued wiki. And then for a couple of months, I will leave it everything in here since it's still relevant information. But after those couple of months are out, most likely we will be just removing altogether this wiki. That's something I always have issues with. For example, same for Sword of Compalaria or other games we've covered in the past. I dislike having to remove a wiki. But at the same time, it's like, okay, I'm not playing the game. I'm not trying to be one of these big wikis, right? Like this one right here. I'm not trying to be .gg. Look at all of the games they cover. All of that is games, and they have even more without links in there. I'm not trying to be Game 8. I'm not trying to be Brightwen, which keeps expanding into more and more games and even more genres now with Blue Protocol as an MMO. Same for Kaiden GG, aka Brightwen Lite. They are a website that, as far as I know, the owner doesn't play all of these games. He is working with other content creators in order to maintain the wikis. I don't want to do that. It's like, this is clearly, right, El Shaftos gacha resources, nothing else. El Shaftos gacha resources. So the games I'm playing, I want to cover and make guides. If I'm not playing a game, I'm not gonna force myself to keep it on the website just because it's doing good and it's making me money. Would it be better for me to just cover 30, 40 games and take the tier list from Japanese and Korean wikis and just translate it? Absolutely, it would be 1,000 times better for me money-wise and traffic-wise, but I don't care. Now, I'm not saying that the website main focus is, of course, making money based on my guides. If I didn't want to make money, I would just have a spreadsheet for each game rather than having a whole wiki, right? That said, enough yapping about those 2 points, right? I feel that was like the main reason. It's like, I'm not playing Starseed, I'm not enjoying it, I'm not trying to be one of these huge wikis with hundreds of games. It's just me playing gacha games, having fun, making guides on them, right? So that's like the first 2 things. And then the other point I want to cover is on newer games added to the website. So right now there is Resonance Solstice already in here with some of the guides, the tier list, the characters page, explaining a lot of stuff. And I'm going to be adding most likely Chaos Zero Nightmare and also King's Raid. It's coming out later this year. I dislike adding games before I can play for 2 months. I would prefer play a game for 2 months and then be like, okay, I like it enough to cover it. Because let's say I start playing Resonance and in 2 months I don't like it and I drop it. Another wiki gone, right? Which is bad because people will be like, oh, why would I use your website if you're going to be dropping the games after a couple months? The problem with gacha wikis, and I was talking about this the other day with Antilar, is that if you are not first when it comes to the links, you will not grow your wiki. It's really hard to change people's minds on what website to use. For some reason, okay, people will watch multiple content creators, but they like only using one website. So the simplest example for this is Nike. My Nike wiki, in my opinion, can compete with every other wiki out there in terms of content, in terms of quality, in terms of tools. We have more tools than anyone else. But I made my wiki like a year, almost a year, like 8 or 9 months after the game came out. And there was already Nike G, and there was already Prime in there. And when it comes to positioning, right, like if we go to Nike tier list, when it comes to positioning in Google, there is a lot of things. It's not only who is first or who is making the tier list first. There is also domain authority, and there is 100 different factors that contribute towards who is first. But being first is a really big factor. For example, for Trical, I know I'm gonna be able to keep really strong rankings because we've been here for like what, 8 months already covering the game, even though there is no tier list because we're waiting, but we have all the characters, we have already the tools and the full database, etc, and some of the guides. So sadly, gacha games require you to be first, but it's a pain in the ass because for a wiki like mine specifically, which is I wanna only cover the games I play and I enjoy, it means also that the games come and go way faster, cycle way faster than something like .gg, where they will keep the game alive, you know, for years. Or same for Prime 1, or same for websites like that. It is what it is. I think this is always going to be a problem with a smaller wiki because I only play auto battlers that are waifu collectors. And I'm not planning on changing that, right? It is what it is. I don't plan on exiting that niche. I like auto battlers and my waifu collectors, and I think it's the only type of games we will cover long term as well. That's it, enough ranting, honestly. Just wanted to go a little bit as to why I removed the games and what the games we're covering in the future. Like I said already, Resonance Solstice, which is the train gacha. Trical, of course, is already in there. We're gonna be playing King's Raid, me and Jay. And then lastly, the one that I'm not 100% sure, which I'm waiting for the beta, which is Chaos Zero Nightmare. All that japping aside, though, that's basically it for this update video. As usual, hope you enjoy the japping. We are live every single day, boys. Links in the description. Good luck with your pool, dinner rates. I'll see you on the next one.